Hello, my name is Curt Skelton. I'm a visual effects artist in Los Angeles. I work at a small studio in West Hollywood called Los Angeles. Kind of confusing. I am their in-house visual effects and CGI guy. I got into visual effects, honestly, for the love of the game. I'm a big storyteller. I love exaggerating, and that's the perfect metaphor for what visual effects is to a movie. It's the exaggeration that goes on top that makes the story engaging. That's what I love the most. My only passion outside of visual effects is just the band My Chemical Romance. And whatever the singer's up to, that's all I got. The biggest positive of the industry is, of course, getting to do what you love. It's also the biggest negative, though. Having to do what you love for other people's projects, it can be draining, it can burn you out, and it kind of makes you forget why you loved this art form in the first place. But I still love it, I promise. The most memorable moment of my career was definitely when I first got to the studio and I kind of had to like prove myself. There was a shot they needed. It was an entire car crash shot that they were originally going to hire an outside visual effects house to do. But for unknown reasons, they didn't, and they just left it up to me, and I had a limited amount of time to do it. I did it. It came out really good. I did the entire thing 100% in Blender. Everyone was impressed. I look back now and I cringe because I see a lot of problems with it. But at the time, it was pretty good. I proved myself. The two programs I use the most are definitely Blender and Nuke. I know Blender isn't the industry standard, but because I'm the only VFX guy at this place and I have to do a lot of random things all the time, I really like Blender because of how many random assets and how many random tutorials there are for it. So that's my go-to, and I also just really like Nuke. It's a really powerful node-based compositing program. I used to use After Effects. I don't use After Effects anymore. I'm all Nuke. What does the future hold for visual effects? That is a loaded question that I also wish I had the answer to. I can definitely imagine a future where there aren't as many big visual effects houses and more just small studios making their own movies with one visual effects guy. I know I'm being very biased because that is my exact situation, but I can see that being a future. My 5 tips for upcoming visual effects artists. Number 1, of course, is stay up to date with technology. Right now, the biggest buzzword is machine learning. So if you're not using things like Copycat and Nuke to do all of your rotoscoping, you're already behind. Number 2, stay active on social media. Again, I'm being biased because that's where I got my start, but it doesn't hurt to every once in a while post like a side-by-side, a before and after an effect you did on like Instagram or TikTok. That could only benefit your career, I think. Number 3, do collaborations with other film friends or other film students. Even if they're just using you for your visual effects, sometimes it can pay off. That's where I got a lot of my jobs, was one of them referred me to somebody else. So it can kind of work. Number 4, walk away from the computer every now and then, especially if you're really frustrated with an effect. Staring at the screen has never helped me, but walking away, thinking about it without looking at it, I always come back with the answer. Number 5, listen to random tutorials in the background. Tutorials you wouldn't look up. I just like to listen to random like hour-long VFX breakdowns. Every once in a while, there will be a little nugget of information, a little piece of advice that'll stick in the back of your brain and help you out in the future, I promise. Or dude, I do. I always go to sleep listening to or watching a visual effects tutorial. It sounds weird, but it really works. Thank you so much for this interview. This was tons of fun. I hope I answered all of your questions to the best of my ability. My name has been Curt Skelton. You can see more of my stuff on like YouTube or TikTok, but if you don't want to see me ever again, I'd understand.